Oops. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 157. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I'm one of your hosts. I would like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is uncensored, so listen at your own risk. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app, and we want you to be on it. For $3.99 per month, you can be part of that app. With that, you will get access to the greatest endurance trainer in the world, Ms. Valerie Hunt of RunRx.fit, and she will deliver you 3 bodyweight exercises every week to your calendar, 4 barbell strength exercises, and 4 daily WODs. For $9.99 per month, you can have access to all the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer. What's so funny over there, Thirsty?
I'm just now reading your live FE post description. Just started giggling, sorry.
What is it?
You can have access to all the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer, everything from 5K training plans to 100-mile training plans to Spartan races to triathlons. Triathlons. What else is there? Go to liftheavyrunlong.com, click on the sign up now button, take a look at any of the programs and their descriptions, and add your email address, and you can be added to the app for 1 week free of charge. The goal of Lift Heavy Run Long is to bring fitness to as many people as possible, as inexpensively as possible. So if you or someone you know does not have $3.99 a month, but you think that fitness would enhance the quality of your life or their life, please email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. We'd be more than happy to add you to the app free of charge. I am sitting next to the greatest woman in the world, my lovely wife, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, also known as Jackie Tan.
And now we can cut it back down to regular speed.
There you go.
Yep. Wow. What's up, everybody?
Should I just cut that out entirely?
Nope. It's very
No?
important.
Okay.
Because if somebody starts listening at episode 160, you don't want them coming in blind.
And everybody's got access to the fast forward button. You don't have to listen to that crap if you
Yep.
don't want to.
There you go. That's what I do to all my podcasts. Click, click, click.
15
How are you, Amanda?
I'm doing great
Tell me why you're doing great.
because I feel good.
Good. You look good.
Working out, running.
All
I'm
right.
actually training with the Lift Heavy Run Long app.
Sure enough.
I'm actually training for a race, like
Yes. Oh, look
interval training. I've never done that before.
Are you still doing the
What
Lauren
race
Fisher
are you
thing,
training
or
for?
what's the other?
Whatever's coming up next. I don't know. Is it the Big
You
River?
don't have a key race.
I think it's the Big River's
You don't
coming
have
up.
an A race.
What program are you doing? That's probably a better question.
Just the half marathon program.
Okay.
And
She's been seen doing it, so it's legit.
Is it 11-week? I can't even know. I don't even
12
know.
weeks.
Isn't that bad? I don't
The
even know.
12-week half marathon
I
program.
asked Valerie a question
which you
yesterday,
can
and
find
she
at
didn't answer me.
liftheavyrunlong.com.
I was really sad. She didn't answer.
Well,
Anyway, I'm on the app.
you can
and I'm
ask
doing
me
it.
a question, and I'll answer it right now.
Well, I was going to run stairs yesterday, and I was going to ask her if I needed to change up my interval training Friday, but then I didn't run stairs. So
okay.
in the long run, it didn't matter.
Valerie was probably like, she's not going to run the stairs anyway.
Probably.
I'm just not even going to answer that question.
Yeah.
Not even worth my time.
Yep.
Not even.
She's not going to follow through with that.
Did you stop doing the Brookends thing?
No, I'm still doing that. So
Okay.
it's kind of running into, I'm having problems kind of with my timing on my running and the Brookends thing. I'm just going to have to just lose some sleep, I guess. Even though sleep's important, I'm trying to get more of it. I'm just going to have to find a balance. I don't know.
Well, just tell Brookends what you're doing and see if she'll write you up a special.
Yeah.
Tell Brooke to
She'll
get
be
with
right on
Valerie.
that.
Yeah.
They should get things
Get
together.
those. I've heard people call her people.
The Reverend
What's up?
Von Rawls.
Here I am sitting on the brown couch.
You're looking tan.
I have what's because I spend all my off time at the pool.
Okay, well that works.
Quite literally.
That'll get you tan.
Yeah.
And the black shirt looks good.
Oh, thank you.
That's how you do it.
I have 3 of these black shirts.
Yep.
They're very special to me because I brought them with me to Canada.
Oh, okay.
I bought them specifically for that trip, and I never wore them.
So you have all these new black shirts.
These are my Rabdo shirts.
What's funny is a black is thinning, but you're already pretty slim, so
I don't know about that.
it makes you look even fitter than
Obviously, you
normal.
don't need to wear a big box with stripes on it like this because I look like SpongeBob with stripes.
Well, welcome to my world because all my clothes just look
I'm
like.
just gonna sit like this for the rest.
I
of the
thought
night.
about. Have you ever heard there are people like Steve Jobs and some other people who wear the same thing every day? Mm-hmm. And I thought about maybe I'll just do gray
Do
pants
they wear
and
the
black
same
shirt
thing every day, or do they just wear the same thing on stage every time?
I don't know. That's a good question, but I've heard podcasts where there are people that have 7 black
Of the
shirts,
exact same outfits?
7 gray pants,
Yeah.
and they wear the same thing every single day, and it's just that's the thing.
Dude, how
What if I
how
just did
freeing
that?
would that be?
I'll be
Well,
awesome.
Like not even having
That'd
to
be-
worry.
I
Like
thought about doing it.
I don't have more than 7 outfits that I wear. I wear pretty much the same thing all the time.
Like
kinda like-
the choice at work is, I mean, you can wear dress clothes like I did today, but scrubs is so nice. You just go in the closet and you grab a set of scrubs and you're done. There's no thought process to it.
Right, but
you're
I'm
on to the next thing in life.
I'm talking about even when you come home and go
well, no,
out
yeah, I know.
all the time.
So I'm saying you would have just a black shirt and gray pants
all
every
the time.
time.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
I think you should like change hats when you come home from work and like go out though. Like you should have like your going out hat and your like work hat.
Yeah, I should. You're right.
Like Mr. Rogers' sweater when he
Exactly.
comes in.
I really like this idea.
Holy cow! Speaking of Mr. Rogers,
The person speaking is the best looking cameraman in the business. Big thirsty Brian Swanson. I'm sorry.
Not
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Rogers.
no worries. Have you guys seen the trailer
Yes.
for the new
Yeah.
movie? I'm
Yes.
so
What new
Tom
movie?
Hanks.
What new movie?
Tom Hanks
Tom
is doing
Hanks
a
is
movie
gonna be
where
Mr.
he
Rogers.
plays Mr. Rogers.
Oh man, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
Oh, the trailer is epically good. Like it just. I mean, I love Tom
Did it
Hanks.
make you cry?
No,
No.
but I think
Did y'all hear that in the static?
yeah,
That
it's-
was him that just
still
I don't hear it.
Well,
still-
Swanson's been over there like wrestling with his headset.
No, Crystal,
Better.
one of our loyal ambassadors, listeners.
You're gonna try to
best
make it
friends,
okay by putting it off on Crystal. Go ahead.
She said the light was visible in the camera, and so
Ah.
I had to get up.
That's valid.
And I moved the camera
Oh, I saw
so
you did
that
that.
Yep.
so that the light was not visible
While juggling your headset.
while
with your
juggling
feet.
and playing the drums on the microphone.
It could be me. I could be a little bit high strung. I've never been told that before, but it's
It
possible.
could be maybe just
So,
a tad bit.
Maybe.
sorry.
That's okay. Anyways, I think just keeping those 2 plugs separated will keep
Okay.
the noise down. Though.
Gotta keep them separated.
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. Anyways,
It
I'm
looks
excited
good.
about the movie. I don't even know when it's coming out, but I saw the trailer and it made me very, very happy, and I want to be his neighbor.
Have you seen the documentary? Let Me Be Your Neighbor?
You know what? I started to watch it and got interrupted. I need to go back and finish
So
it.
good.
It is so good.
I think
You know,
I've seen it.
I don't think I realized. Of course, I love Mr. Rogers. Everybody loves Mr. Rogers, or they should. All good people like Mr. Rogers on some level, but I don't think I realized how much. Like you watch that, and it just takes you back to like different times of your life, and really like how good he was at making you feel secure. You watch him, and it's like, oh my god, like
funny.
he really had a gift.
It's funny. There's little things that endear you to someone, and like the tiny little trivial thing is he started in Pittsburgh, and Lynn Aaron and a bunch of other people are huge Steelers fans. So I'm like, oh, Pittsburgh, yay! Like it's just awesome that that's where he started at. So
I just was tickling myself, and I had a thought. That
why were you tickling yourself?
Because if Mr. Rogers was alive today and he was on Twitter, there'd be somebody that was like, "Fuck you, Mr. Rogers."
A lot of people.
I can't. That's how
you
bad.
are fucking real.
He would probably not be as good of a person if he was. It could have just turned him.
Do you think?
No.
Do you think
No.
he'd be like Mr. Rogers gets up and logs on the Twitter?
Who knows, man?
And then he just burns his house down. And
It could for like
Becomes
6
a
hours a
hobo.
day. He's Mr. Rogers. Then he comes home and he drinks whiskey and he just goes Twitter wild, and he's an animal.
Holy crap! Like I posted some stuff earlier today. Like that's the thing I love about Twitter is I feel like we get to see the real side of some famous people. You know, where like that's the place they feel comfortable cutting loose, and most of the time it's the famous people that are either like super ridiculously famous, so they have zero fucks to give because they're making all the money anyways, or it's the people that used to be famous and their 10 minutes of fame's over, so they don't care what they say anymore. But anyways, I love Twitter for that aspect of seeing kind of that real side of people.
I do feel like there's a Twitter wall that allows you to kind of be more real than, on Facebook, you got everybody. You got your, your church friends and your, kids' athletic friends and your school friends and all this stuff. And then Twitter is just kind of more of a no man's land.
Yeah.
Where I think
So
it's a little bit
on
more
Twitter,
forgiving.
do you not have like friends and stuff?
You do.
You have
follow
people you follow,
people.
they follow you back.
But it's less likely that somebody's going to see your stuff unless they come looking for you.
You're not going to run into somebody at the grocery store. My mom's not going to say, "Oh my God, I saw that tweet you made yesterday."
Oh.
You're not going to have a bunch of
Because
people
my
pile
mom's not-
on to one conversation. You go say what you want and you walk off.
My mom texts me about some of my tweets.
Does she really? That's funny.
It's a safe space, I think, for sure. Like I'll put a lot of stuff on there that I'd never put on Facebook.
What did you post today? The political figure had
Well,
posted.
that's I wasn't sure if we wanted to go into
Yes,
it.
we do. It was so funny.
So Mike Pence made a post about the fact that people need to spend more time on their knees and less time
Dude.
on the internet. And so and so his intention for it was on your knees praying, but of course the internet being the internet, they took it as a sexual reference of being on your knees. And so the tweet, I'll get to the tweet that I posted or whatever, but the tweet that the one I posted was responding to was, y'all gonna tell him or do I have to? Like basically like
Right.
is somebody gonna let Mike Pence know that being on your knees means something different to most of the world than but then it was Monica Lewinsky who replied back to the tweet that said, y'all gonna tell him or do I need to? And she replied back, not me.
With the eyeballs looking over.
So funny. That
Yeah.
Monica Lewinsky story is incredible. Like there's a podcast called Slow Burn that is all about that whole entire Bill Clinton fiasco. It's a really interesting story. Like I didn't know half of the stuff. Like it's a really wild story.
I would love to hear it because I went to the next level with it. I saw something with Monica Lewinsky and kind of what she's doing now, and she's really a fascinating person.
Yeah, she's not a terrible person.
And she's doing great things. She's and running this internet bullying campaign, and she's very successful. Which obviously you gotta have some degree of success to even get close to the president's nuts, let alone on him.
Right.
So she's handled it, and come out of there stronger.
Yeah,
it took her a while to bounce back, but I
Wouldn't
think
it, though?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, but she found her niche and she's having success in her own right now, as opposed to being the president's mistress.
Well, I'm a fan of hers, if nothing more, for just that tweet.
Yeah, exactly. It cracked me up pretty hard.
What else we got? What else is new with everyone? I'm worn out, man. It's going to be a short podcast, I bet. I don't have much to talk about.
Why are you worn out?
That's it. Let's turn it
Just
on.
tired.
Why are you tired?
He's doing so much bodybuilding.
You're tired. We went to bed at 6:30 last night.
I didn't say I didn't go to bed at 6:30 last night. I said I'm tired.
He was up.
You got a lot of sleep.
He was up at 5, though. I mean, he was.
That's true.
He was up
Okay,
at 5
you
and-
come
yeah.
on the podcast every week and
Hustling.
say, I'm so tired.
I am.
I'm so tired.
But guess who's
And
getting plenty
one
of sleep
week, I say, I'm tired. She's like, what are you tired for? You can't be tired.
Stop being tired.
I'm just tired. Okay, I take it back. I'm not tired. We're going to podcast forever.
now?
Did you guys see the post on our Facebook group of the guy that said, Rhabdo, ? My urine is the color of
Yes,
coffee?
I responded to that.
I went and ran a marathon again. I don't even know. He's like,
Yeah,
what,
he was
should I do?
he's like, I might have rhabdo. Here's what happened. Then I peed brown, and then like I took like 12 hours off, and then went and did another workout, and then the next day I did another thing, and then 2
Yeah.
days later I did another thing, and then after that I was fine, but then 3 days later I was tired, and And it was like,
If you could have
dude,
seen-
like if your pee was brown, why aren't you in the fucking hospital? Like,
if you could have seen my face when I read that post, I was literally like,
I feel like he was trolling the group or something like that. I really do.
Maybe he was. Maybe
I feel
he
like because I don't know, like
it never crossed my mind that the dude was probably a troll.
Me neither. I was like, that's probably your kidneys breaking down. You probably need to go to the
your
doctor.
response was like, please go to the hospital right
Yes.
I was like all cap. I never type in all cap. Go to the hospital right now, lowercase, please.
I don't mean anything by that. I'm sorry. I got a little bit carried away.
I just couldn't imagine. Like,
Please.
I couldn't imagine. I can't fathom a person seeing their urine the color of coffee and not thinking there's a problem that they need to go immediately see.
No,
a
I got to
doctor
go do
about.
my second workout today.
You're right. Oh man, that's weird. I mean, what would you guys do? I tell you what I did. I was
get
like,
weird.
Oh,
I get weird when my pee is like dark yellow, verging on orange. Like holy crap, I'm dehydrated. And like let alone turning brown. Like, anyways.
I've seen my urine all kinds of colors.
it's just so weird that somebody would have that happen to them. And
That's why I feel like he was trolling. Because there was just like, and I did this, and I did this
Right.
after that.
Oh, and then I went
did
and worked
this.
out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he was trolling. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't feel like
Trolls
that.
are getting better.
Yeah,
They're
maybe
getting
that's it. Maybe he just slid in. He's a good. The security wall is just.
expert troll.
Hey, Jenny Lovett says that now that we're allowing cussing on the podcast, we need to have a Dirty Old Ladies of OVCF episode again.
Y'all line it up. It's yours. It is all yours. Jenny saw Amanda running at the track. Mm-hmm. So she can verify.
Which track did you go to?
Olive Branch.
Olive Branch.
Is it still pretty bad?
Yes, it's terrible.
Pretty gnarly.
They need to resurface that thing.
They
I was
really do.
shocked.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
been
oh
that
my
way for a
goodness.
while now.
What do you think it costs to resurface a track?
Oh man!
$50,000.
But there's
50,000?
so many people
I
that use that.
I think legit. That's
That's what I was.
probably
That's
an
what I was
accurate
told.
number. Because
I asked about it. I sent a message to a couple people, and because I know a couple people that are involved in like city politics or whatever, and one guy I think wrote me back and told me they were supposed to do it. It was in the budget. It cost $50,000 or somewhere around there, and then they decided.
Of course, that's $50,000 government dollars. That means it probably costs $10,000 for like a person to do
Maybe
it if
so.
they had a track in their backyard.
It costs $10,000. Really, the mayor gets the rest of the 40.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying because of all the bureaucracy, governments pay more for stuff than the rest of us. Anyways,
The contractor gets something for coming in with the bid.
Yeah.
All I
He's
know
got to
is
pay
that
the
thing
other
gets
contractor to
used.
make sure that they're at a certain level.
When we're out running at 4 a.m., there's people already walking around that track. Anytime you walk by
Oh,
there,
yeah,
there are
there's a lot of
people
people
on
out
that
there.
track. It gets used.
Olive Branch Park is really, there's a lot to be said for it.
There is, yeah. I truly agree.
The playground over there is phenomenal. They got a new playground with the squishy floor and all that stuff on it.
That's
I've
probably what they
run
did
through
with
that
the dollars.
park.
Oh, thank you, Jenny.
3
She
times,
said I was a
maybe.
beast.
Oh, that's such a nice thing to say about someone.
I think I've run through that park 3 times. One time was the race I beat Vaughn at.
Yeah. Yeah.
One time was at like 4:45 in the morning when the
We were in.
night crew ran for Carol's birthday last year, and there were people out there walking already. And I can't remember what the third time is, but I know I've been in that park another time. Anyways, I haven't been there much.
I wonder what the park's annual budget is.
I don't know.
We watch Parks and Recreation all the time, so I'm kind of curious about how the thing actually works.
I would imagine the Park and Rec department has an annual budget as opposed to the individual park, unless that's the only park in Olive Branch.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So
But I'm just wondering, like, what $50,000 looks like to them. Probably a lot. My neighbor's driveway costs $10,000 to get paved.
okay.
So if that tells you anything about, I don't know, paving a gravel road, how that correlates into resurfacing a track. But so you know, my neighbor's driveway costs $10,000 to get paved.
That sounds like a lot of money.
Yep.
I wonder if when they repave it, they're going to put the proper lines on there so you know, like, where 400 meters is as opposed to a mile.
If you're actually trying to run a mile, will they paint the right
I'm just
thing on there? We learned that today, that the mile is actually longer than 1,600 meters.
Well, Amanda and I were at dinner last night, and she was like, "It's such a disadvantage for those guys." We were watching a track meet. She's like,
You're
"It's
gonna
such
call me out on this?
such a disadvantage for those
God.
guys that have to catch up on that track that have to start so far back." And I said, "They don't start so far back. They're running the same distance."
Okay, I didn't know people.
And she said,
The inside
I can
of
hear
that
everybody
shorter.
laughing right
Yeah,
now.
because they have to stay in their lane. Like that's actually part of the track rules. Like you get disqualified if you
I
cross
get
over the
that
line.
now.
Yeah, nah,
she said, "But if they all finish at the same spot, then they obviously have to run further." And I said, "No,
Stop
circles
laughing
don't
at
really
me.
work that way."
Don't feel bad.
Everybody's laughing on the oh, they're listening right now.
How
Oh,
often
no,
do you
don't-
do you
listen.
hammer me on live podcast?
Never.
if that is
Never.
if that
I have been.
if that
It's
is
like
the
your
one-
role. That's your primary objective here.
I've been running.
That
for-
is the goal of
How
this
long have I been
podcast.
running?
That
I've been
is-
running for like 10 years, and I just learned today that a mile is actually longer than 1,600 meters.
Oh, okay. I feel better.
Like I thought a mile was 1,600 meters. Legitimately thought that,
For all intents and purposes, it is 16.
Yeah, exactly. And
but it's not.
For-
If you go to Google and do 1 mile in meters, it's 1,634.
it's
whatever.
1,609 meters. 1,609 meters. .34.
It's like 30 feet.
Yeah, it's like an extra.
32.
Yeah, and
32
I just learned that today.
Yep.
And so all of my mile times that I've
But
run on the
as-
track
but
are
as-
invalid.
That's what everybody at Olive Branch CrossFit needs to go back and put scaled for all of their workouts.
Except for me, because I ran my watch,
but
and it
But
Dream Crusher said that's not accurate either.
But did you actually?
it reported 1.01 miles.
Doesn't mean it's a mile.
It does.
Let me show you the swim time that I have.
you
from-
immediately, whenever anything comes out of someone's mouth, you immediately just like look for the wrong.
If anyone
I
tries to do anything
I just
good,
like to push
Brian
them.
just wants to shut them down.
And then he's like,
Needs
but
them
I'm not
to-
trying to be a dick, but what you said you did was good. It's not really that good. I've got somebody that did more good.
You really have to do something very impressive to impress that man.
You've done a lot of impressive things. You ran a hundo.
Maybe one thing.
You ran a
But you
hundo.
didn't run a hundo in less than 24 hours.
He still criticized that. So I don't
He's
even
like,
know.
you
I
did it
still
in
haven't impressed
26
the guy.
hours.
He is impressed by the hundo, but he's not going to let you say that you ran it in a day.
It's impressive, but you didn't do it in one day.
Brian Swanson
Y'all
is
knew
the
I was an
reason
asshole before you
that
invited me on
daddy
this
issues
podcast.
exist.
I like that meme you posted today about like I can't remember what you said. Something about drinking beer and being an asshole.
Oh
or
yeah.
Let's see what we got on the agenda. I really don't have very much.
I'm
talk
going to
about.
New York tomorrow.
Hey,
No
yo.
way.
Yeah, I've never been.
Yes,
I've
she
never
is.
been either.
I'm kind of scared, but I'm really excited because I want to see the big tall buildings.
What are you going to New York for?
I'm going to see Barry Manilow.
No way.
Well, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Seriously, that is awesome.
Wow.
At
I grew
Madison
up
Square
listening to
Gardens,
the
or-
records. I honestly don't know where it is. My coworker and I, she was looking on the internet. And she goes, "Oh, Barry Manilow's.
What night's he playing?
He's there for like 2 weeks, so we're going Saturday night."
Holly would love to see Barry Manilow.
And I grew up listening to Barry Manilow, and my dad like "Oh Mandy," the Mandy song.
He's playing at
My dad
the
plays that for me all the time when I'm-
Luntfontein Theater in New York.
Yes, that's it. That's where we're going.
That's fantastic.
Barry Manilow.
But we're staying in Times Square, and we're going to do the 9/11 memorial thing. Got some reservations at some restaurants.
You're
already.
staying in Times Square? I'm sorry? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Isn't there something going on there with the food
yeah. That's Food Week.
week?
Yep. So we've found our restaurants we're going to go to, and
So,
breakfast and lunch and dinner and brunch on Sunday.
2017. Wow, it seems like so long ago. Carol and I went to New York City. We stayed in Hell's Kitchen, and I tried to get up every morning and go for a run. And one day I ran along the Hudson River and ended up
I think
down
that's in
at
New
the
York,
down at the tip. And then as I was trying to make my way back through town, through Manhattan, I ended up at the 9/11 Memorial, and very, very sombering experience. Just really cool stuff, though.
Is Hell's Kitchen just a neighborhood? Is that?
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting trip. You in Virginia will have a good time doing that.
Yeah, she's been there a couple times, so I have somebody kind of
Oh, that's
guiding
good.
me
Yeah.
around because I have no idea what to expect or anything. So
I would be absolutely useless in a place like New York, even more so than in a place like Byhalia.
Why do you say that?
Just it's so big. I just directions and things like that. I just would,
I thought maybe you meant like you'd stop at the first like pizza stand and, and you just never leave there.
well, there's that probably that too.
I may do that. I like being in big cities like that because
Don't they have big pizza slices?
Nobody
right?
knows who I am here.
and they have deep
you know?
dish, big ol'.
Yeah.
So yeah, Virginia's like, you can get up and run in Central Park. I was like, not by myself. I'm not gonna do that.
No, it's fine.
Scary.
It's totally fine. If you're staying in Times Square, I can't think of what the main Ave is, but you'll run straight up it. It goes into Times Square. You can run Times Square. You'll see 1,000 people out there.
I have seen too
running
many
and
Law and Order Special Victims Unit things going
They
on
all
up
get
in
killed
there.
inside
They all get
Times
killed in
Square.
the park.
Don't
I'm
go.
not going
Don't
to
go run. Don't go run at 4 a.m. Don't go run at 10 p.m. You'll be fine.
You got to do your training program while you're there.
Yeah, you do. You got to run.
You can
those
go drop
interviews.
in at CrossFit
Selfie.
Reebok or.
I have to show my sugar wad. And since I've been doing the INT stuff, I've not been doing sugar wad the last couple months. So they won't let me in.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to make a reservation and all that. And you have to
Interesting.
turn in your sugar
Why
wad
don't you
stuff.
just put your?
That's
I was
what Lynn
gonna say,
said. Lynn's like, just put a bunch of fake crap
yeah,
in there.
exactly. Just go and
It's like-
backdate it.
I'm good. I'll just take Friday off.
put
The
your,
level of dishonesty between myself and Amanda on everything is, she is like, you can't do that. And I'm like, you very well can do that. Why would you not do that?
That is so crazy. I would have just put my Brook Inn stuff in Sugar Wad.
Yep. Well,
Just make that a program.
not Amanda.
I did buy the actual like Brook Ents app and bought the new stuff that comes on the calendar every month now. I started
Okay.
that. 'Cause
Wait a minute. You can't go to this CrossFit gym unless you use Sugar Wad, or you have to show.
Sugar Watt is one of the official apps of CrossFit.
Yeah, the place I was looking at, they require you to show them your like to
It doesn't-
prove
it
that you're a
doesn't have to be
CrossFitter.
Sugar Wad though. It could be something.
Right, I guess.
Okay.
I guess it would be Zen Plan or whatever else they use out there. I don't know, but I just glanced into it and saw I had to make an appointment and all that crap. I was like, man, I'm good. I'll take Friday off. Friday will be an extra day off.
Really, you don't want to go to New York and screw with CrossFit.
I would. I didn't.
I
but
wasn't
would.
talking to you. Just talking
I'd
to
kind of like
Amanda,
a
my wife,
T-shirt.
the one who I care about very much.
Well,
What
could
you do
probably
in New
go
York, I
buy
don't
it,
care.
too.
As opposed
Dang.
to the wife you don't care about.
So I'd like a T-shirt that says, like New York CrossFit or
Go get one.
whatever. Yeah, I may
could
just
go
swing
in
in
and
there and
buy
get
one.
one. They'll take my money, I'm sure.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they will take your money for
They
a
will.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, ma'am. You didn't work out here. You can't have.
Show me your Sugar
So
Wad.
you're sugar-
show me your Sugar Wad. I'll give you.
Let me see your sugar wad.
Oh, but anyway, I was going to talk about the INTS app really quick. This one, so I was doing an hour and a half workout to 2 hour workouts. This one I can knock down. You can knock it from 90 to 60 to 30 minutes. So I do my 60-minute workouts now. It kind of cuts everything a little bit
Oh,
shorter.
okay.
Because it was getting really rough there doing 90 minutes, 2 hour workouts.
It's hard to work out for 2 hours every day.
Yep.
I tell you who won't make you show them their sugar wad to be part of his thing. It's Chris Hope and the Chris Hope Foundation, the Chris Hope 5K, which is Saturday, October 5th. And you certainly will not have to show your sugar wad at the Big Hill Pond Walking Tall 25K and 50K, which is October 19th.
However, if you come through my aid station
And you show
and
them
you
your
show
sugar-
me your Sugar Wad, there will be something special.
Oh,
Oh, man.
that would be fantastic.
I promise there will be something for you if you come through my aid station and you have
Show me your
log
Sugar
workouts in your Sugar Wad.
So I can put my book stuff in Sugar One?
We could do that.
Really?
Yeah. You're a coach, aren't you?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You could just create your own workout track for the gym.
Yeah, you can. We can only
And
have
add
so
your
many.
stuff.
We can only have so many tracks, but they're not. We don't use all of them. I don't think. So, yeah, you could definitely do that.
How was Jackson's first day at school?
It was good. It was good. This was his first year he's 12 and he's in the 7th grade, and he's changing classes. Right, so he changed
Oh,
classes
nice.
all day long. He said he only got lost once. And
New school?
No. Same school he's been at.
I understand. It's still different classes.
But
A lot of moving around.
like it's high school. He doesn't. All his friends play football. He doesn't play football because he just loves basketball. And so all the kids that play football take their last period of the school day and go to football practice, right? Well, he's not in football practice, so they have to put those kids. If you're not doing a extracurricular activity, you go to study hall. Well, everybody else in his class is doing some sort of band or football or something. So he gets to go to study hall with all these seniors. He was like, man, I went in there, there's like all these big kids. And I just walked in and I was like, hey, y'all, what's up?
That could pay off.
I was like, were you uncomfortable? He was like, no.
He's not you.
I would have curled up in a corner and died. I've been
Well,
like,
didn't
oh
you say
my
Jackson's
gosh.
more social?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. So much more social.
He doesn't get worked up about going to school?
No. No, not at all.
That was always a lot for me.
Both of them, Jackson and Murphy.
Oh, I love school.
They're just.
I loved school too, but it still gave me anxiety
me,
getting
man.
started in school. Like my school experience was all really good, but I didn't ever have to really go to school. Like I never really had to do anything in school. So I just did a lot of roaming around, but still getting ready for like a new school year was always.
I did a lot of roaming around too, and that was bad. Like I would get dropped off in the morning. My mom would drop me off on the way to school at like an hour before school starts. So I'm hanging out an hour before school starts. Then I get out of school at like 3:20. My mom wouldn't get off work till like 6. So I just stay at the school, like roaming around in the hallways.
I was a latchkey kid.
And you know what I did?
What's that?
It's where you have a key to
You
your
ever,
house.
you have a key to your house?
You have never heard of Latchkey Kid?
No.
Wow. That's crazy.
That was like a whole like national program.
Oh,
for
yeah,
a
it's
while. It was
huge.
talking about latchkey kids and.
Now is that it? Like you just have a key to get
you have a key to your house.
Oh, yeah.
But
Okay.
you,
You stay home alone.
you ride the bus home.
Parents-
Oh, I thought it was like honor society, like
Well,
like a merit.
No,
I mean,
it's totally like
listen.
meaning you went home and you stayed at your house by yourself until your parents came home.
Oh,
We lived
Okay.
in Byhalia, Mississippi, so like I couldn't go home. Or
Well, yeah,
get
you went to a
anybody
private
bring
school.
me.
I rode the bus home.
Right.
Yeah, so
And so what I did was I decided it'd be a good idea to steal a set of the janitor's keys because they had this.
that does sound like
so
a good
Vaughn
idea.
was his own type of latchkey kid.
So they had this break room where the janitors had their lockers and stuff, and I guess they would hang their keys in there. And because I'm like poking around the school for way too many hours after school, I decided it'd be a good idea to take one of them. So I'd have keys to the whole building.
Oh my
And
god.
so for a long time, I had keys to the whole school. And
Really?
I could get into wherever I wanted. Like I could unlock
So
classrooms.
you had them for an extended period of time. You
Oh yeah,
utilized
I kept
them.
them for like a year.
Oh man, that's great.
And like we also went to church there too. So like on Sundays, I'd skip church and like go unlock classrooms and like go into the computer room and fire up the computer, and I would try to like look for answers to tests and stuff, but I could never find any, But it was a definite benefit. I could like
Wow.
I could lower the basketball goals in the gym. I could go in there and do that. And that's
Did you get caught?
That's how I got caught.
Lowering the goals.
No, I wasn't doing it, but over time, like a couple of people realized
He
that I
let
had
other
these
people
keys,
know.
and so some douchebag came over and said, "Hey, man, let me lower the goal." And I was like, "All right," and I gave it to him. He got caught lowering the goal,
Yeah.
and he was like, "They were like, where'd you get those keys at?" And he's like, "Oh, Vaughn gave them to me."
Yep.
And then they were like, "Where'd you get them?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just found them in a locker." Like, whatever. Like I was in the locker room one day and they were just laying there.
Oh, that sucks.
And
More than one person knows. It's not a secret.
that's right. But I was bad, dude. I had a couple of friends that I made copies of them for. Like,
Man, you were
Oh,
bad.
wow.
So you can have keys too.
Wow.
Like, I don't think they ever used them, but it was like we went to Bridgetown Market and like the keys like say "do not copy" on them. We're like in Bridgetown Market, like getting this dude to copy. Why do you? It says "don't copy," but he copied them anyway.
Uh-huh.
Man, I should have told that story. That was like
Your mom's listening.
it was like 30 years. My mom knows about it. I think.
She does now.
I mean, she did. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, that's such a big story. You have to tell it.
Shh, y'all don't tell my phone's mom.
Is that new?
You doggone right it is. Y'all didn't know we had this.
Is what new?
This picture over here. You see that
Can you
picture?
see it?
Can you see it from there? What does that look like to you?
A review?
What is
Yeah.
that? Can you see that?
It looks like a 5-star review.
Whoa, looks like a lot of stars. Here we go. We got a review. Thank you, Shauna from Como. August 3rd, 2019, 5 stars.
Como, Mississippi?
It says C, capital C, little O, big M, little O.
Oh, that could be like an area. That could be like
Colorado.
something Missouri.
Shauna
or-
says, it's titled Wilson Keeps Begging. I have friends that run but don't lift. I have friends that lift but don't run. I do both, so most of my friends think I'm crazy. I'm finding LHRL podcast. I have found some other folks who are crazy and enjoy the things I enjoy. I really do believe this podcast deserves all 5 stars, but maybe Wilson will stop begging every week now. I doubt it. It would throw off his intro routine. So thank you, Shauna.
I'll tell you what, Shauna. If you get 100 of your friends to all in the next week leave a 5-star review, then Wilson will stop mentioning it.
If you find 3, if we have 3 friends, if we have
That
3,
mention, but they have to
5
mention her.
that mention Shauna, then I will not mention 5-star reviews for a month.
Okay.
Or should I do more than that?
But I will.
I'm not involved with it. I think that's fair. Thank you, Shauna.
Yeah, thank you.
We should have a contest to see which one of the 4 of us could get the most reviews. And
I
the
lose.
the person doing the review has to mention your name, and whoever gets the most wins
Oh, I think I could win that.
something.
Let's focus our attention on getting the most votes for.
Memphis.
Best.
Is it voting over?
No, I think it goes on for a while. Can you pull that up, Thirsty?
I can't.
Pull it up.
Please go to the Memphis Flyer for media and personalities.
Post a link in the live feed.
I don't have a link. I'm linkless. I have nothing.
I've got it.
I don't even hook up to the internet because I'm afraid my computer's going to crash.
I need to make like little cards and hand them out to everybody I work with at the hospital and be like, please
Yeah,
go do this.
yeah, that would be really good. Plus, that's an easy win for you because you're so hot. Like people would do that. If I give people cards, people will file a restraining order. I don't have anybody to give it to.
You can give it to all your customers.
to Pedro.
Yeah.
I just posted it somewhere.
Will you send an
recently.
email to everybody on the list?
Yeah.
Vote until 8:22 at 5 p.m.
Didn't I
Central
do that
Time.
already?
You did that for the
For the gym.
no, you did that for the nominations.
Oh.
Ah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
I do need to do that.
Jenny wants to know where you go to leave a 5-star
Jenny,
review.
I'm getting the link for you
I
right
replied.
now. Oh, you already gave her the link?
Well, I just said iTunes.
Oh, just kidding. I see it now.
Oh, to leave a review or to vote?
No,
for
to leave
it?
a review.
Leave a review. She's-
5-star review.
But since I'm here,
I got it.
We've got fall coming up, like not far away.
Yes.
I
Football's
cannot
about to
believe it,
start.
man.
Fall's about
this
to be
weather,
here.
we're gonna have second summer here soon. Second summer.
think so?
Oh yeah.
It hasn't been hot.
It hasn't been a really
I mean,
terrible
it
summer
hasn't
this
been
summer,
not
honestly.
hot, but it hasn't been.
It had been like the last few years.
Yeah,
We were talking
no.
about that.
Last year was relatively mild too. It had some hotter weeks than we've had this year, but all in all, the last 2 years haven't been that bad. So we've got with the fall coming up. Does anybody have any fun training? Not training plans, but events that they're doing, or is it all the same stuff?
When I thought about doing
Fawn
Big Head Todd and the Monsters, what's the Wade's Big Adventure?
Wade's Big
yeah.
Adventure. That's,
Yeah, I thought about doing that 18-miler
Okay.
in October.
Are they doing it again this year?
Yeah.
I think so.
What is your maximum allowable limit right now?
I don't know.
What does Holly tell you it is?
Oh, well, that's a good question. She said I could do Wade's.
October 26th, 2019.
I like your socks.
I thought they
Thanks, they're
canceled it.
Stormtroopers
No, they canceled
and
last
this one's
year.
Darth
They canceled
Vader.
2018.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
They don't match. But she said I could do Wade's. She's definitely said I couldn't do any more 100-milers and no more 50-milers.
Okay.
And I could probably sell her on a marathon. She originally said, you just need to go do half marathons and don't worry about it.
Man, just crush half marathons.
I could do that.
Yeah, just
but
because what'd you run? You ran a sub 7 today.
6:37.
You ran a sub 7, 1,600 meters.
Holly's probably at home. Holly's probably at home. Like, I never said any of that. He's just making that up so he doesn't have to run any more 100-mile races.
No,
I'm serious. This is like him asking his parents if we could borrow the RV. Like his mom comments live in the podcast. I told you could use it.
Yeah, I told you could run a 100-miler. No, she definitely did say, I will quote her, you're not doing any more 100-mile runs.
Which is understandable. Yep.
So,
I think that's understandable.
but
we got quite a few LHRL supporters that are coming up on their first hundo this year.
I know, yeah.
Dawn's doing one. I think I just saw that Petey's trying to organize a group to do one next year, like Key West or something like that. So good stuff ahead.
Tunnel Hill's going to be on fire this year, man.
Yep.
Really,
Are you going to go?
I'm not going to go. I don't have any vacation time at work. So unless I can count it as like volunteer time or something, I probably could.
Yeah.
But I got to get there too. So
I'm volunteering this year at Tunnel Hill.
Are you volunteer? Okay, I was going to say.
I'm Dawn's volunteer. And anybody else who needs help along the way if I'm
that's a good
in
thought.
the area.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm going for. Is I'm going to run one of the legs with her. It's so funny the way the website's worded. It's kind of confusing. It's basically like she's taking it as an either or, but I think it's really an and. But it says something along the lines of you can have a pacer after 9 p.m. or for the last 50 miles of the race.
I think it's that too.
I think it's and.
Yeah.
Like if it's after dark, you're allowed to have a pacer, and also the last 50 miles
right.
you're allowed to have.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And so
I would think so because I don't see them enforcing anything like that. I mean, the whole reason that Tunnel Hill was even started was as a race for people to be able to finish.
Exactly. And I mean, and it says if you're trying to go for like a record, you can't have a pacer, period.
Right.
So like that,
right.
If
that's
you're not,
why I didn't have a pacer.
Yep.
I'm kind of glad I didn't have a pacer.
Why is that?
It was kind of nice to be alone.
Alone with your hallucinations?
Yeah, in the middle of the night. Yeah, I liked that. It would have been different. It would have been a different experience if somebody had been there talking to me.
Yeah.
It would be. I think that there would be merits to both of them, and I think it would be cool to do the both of them. I mean, I think that there's a part of being alone that I really like, and I think that would be fun to see what that looked like. And then there would obviously be the cool part of having somebody with you and helping you.
I can't believe I did that.
No, I can't either.
Wow, it's crazy.
That's a lot.
It is.
I don't even like to drive that far.
Oh, God.
That's so terrible.
Who is chasing you?
That's so terrible.
Did you steal something?
I've just got a bunch of half marathons lined up. I'd really like to, if I could really follow through on my training, pick a marathon and actually train for a full marathon.
I'm waiting to see when Swamp Stomper's going to be. There's like a good chance that I'm going to go do Houston Marathon this year. It's in January.
What is a good half marathon goal? Hour and a half?
Time-wise?
Yeah.
Hour and a half. I'd say 2 hours.
So like my fastest ever, I think, was like 150, maybe 149.
My best time ever has been a 2:22 on a half marathon, and that's probably the first official half marathon I ran.
I can run a 2 hour marathon. Half marathon.
I think I'd like to do a 2 hour half marathon.
Yeah, so if you were trying to crush it, if like you were just going to own half marathons, I would say
An hour
140 or better is crushing it. But I mean, I think under 2 hours is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to diminish anybody that can, right now I think I'd struggle to do a half marathon under 2.5 hours.
Me too. Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm not one to call anybody out, but just you setting goals like on crushing a half marathon, I think you working towards like 140-ish would be awesome.
I was trying to see if I could get to the pace calculator quick enough to not.
I can tell you what it is.
13.
So I had a doctor at work today, or yesterday actually. We were at rounds. In the middle of rounds, he's like starts like pointing at me and like whispering things. I'm like, what? He's pointing at my watch. He just wanted to know what it was, what kind it was. Apparently, he is starting to maybe get into running. And
Yeah.
he said he had an old, looked like a Polar. I can't remember what he called it though. It looked old.
Polar, yeah.
Hour and a half is like 6:52.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty fast.
But he was asking for recommendations. So I took my Phoenix today and showed it to him because he was afraid he couldn't use it, like wouldn't be able to figure out how to use a Phoenix. So I gave it to him during rounds. I was like, here, play with this. While Dr. Patel was presenting his patients. So he was over there like messing with my watch trying to see if he could figure out how to use it. So I didn't know if anybody else had any recommendations on a Garmin.
I would get that Phoenix one. You know,
Yeah.
if I could.
How much is that?
It's like $600.
$600-800.
Is there just a running watch, just a Garmin that's
I think the 935 is kind of the new standard, like that everybody's getting. That's the one that like you can load music onto it, and it'll Bluetooth attached to like headphones. But there's like a heart rate and a non-heart rate.
how much is
version.
it?
I want to say it's less than 300, but don't quote me on that.
My damn band broke on mine again for like the 8th time.
Yeah, mine's broken.
Which means
several
that
times.
when that breaks, it means that the whole band's going to break.
The little
soon.
piece that holds
Oh,
that
yeah.
broke.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was Lynn Aaron that figured it out. I'm not, or maybe somebody told her about it. A Kalo ring is
That's
a
right.
perfect
That's
replacement.
right.
That's right. Yeah.
that band.
That's
got-
Oh,
right.
that's a
on
good
my-
idea.
Seriously.
I forgot all about that. Ha-ha.
Except they cost $20.
But I
Which the
have
band
one.
costs 18 something.
Band's like $9.99. You can buy them on.
Oh, it's like 18.
They've
isn't it?
always given me the
Buy
band
these
for
off of
free.
eBay. These,
I buy them off Amazon.
yeah,
I call Garmin and they'll just send them to me.
I don't get a.
By the way,
band, I
Garmin
get a
finally
generic
replied
one.
to my tweet.
Did they really?
They want me to get in touch with them. They said something about sending you a free watch.
I hope so. Yeah. All that exposure I gave Garmin with a retweet. They should be sending me 2 watches.
So yeah, it'll be ultra season before you know it. Does it seem like that the years go by faster and faster? Is that an age thing, or is that the life that we're?
Yeah, I don't buy.
That
them.
we're
I buy
leading.
the.
So I think your
yeah,
perspective
generic ones.
changes. So when you're 1 year old, you've only lived 365 days, right?
Okay,
And so
we've had this kind. I remember because of this comparison that
And
you're
so,
gonna try to make.
I feel like as we get older, the days do become more or less significant.
I guess there's no way to really prove that, is there? 'Cause
Well,
you
you're
can't-
spending all your
It's all
day
a
at
mindset.
work, right? Like you spend a lot of time at work if you work, right? If you were just sitting around all day, like summers when I was 12, seemed like they last forever because all I did was sit around and play Legend of Zelda all day long.
That's such a good game.
You know, like,
Which is a good thing
And
to
I
do.
call the 900 number to figure out how to get past the level. You know, and that's all. That's
Is that
all I
what
had
you
to
told
do.
your mom that 900 number was for?
Yeah, right.
Not in 1987. I didn't know anything.
Who
about
is Zelda? It's the video game. She's overseas.
that. But it would seem like a longer time. But now, like, we spend all of our time doing other stuff. You know, responsibilities and stuff. don't know.
I
It's
was
just
looking at, I'm not looking for a new job, but somehow or another, twice today, I got onto specific company websites and their job postings. And I saw there's a company in Colorado that deals with startups and stuff like that. And like, they have a really, really awesome like benefits package for employees. It's, it's like full paid insurance, 2 or 3 weeks a year of vacation. But the one awesome thing is like beyond all that stuff is every 3 years, employees are required to take a 1 month paid sabbatical.
Oh.
What company is that? Google.
No,
Yeah.
It wasn't Google. I'll have to find the name of it. Like I said, it was they do something for startups. It's like an accelerator or something like that. But but like a 1 month paid sabbatical, and you're like required to take it every 3 years. That's
Wow.
kind of awesome.
I like that.
I would love to just go off grid for a month. And
Or
not-
you could just go to rehab. That'd be a good time to just spend the 3 years digging yourself a hole just slowly And then by the time you're there, be like, we'll see y'all guys
I'm
on the
about
flip
18
side.
months in and digging that hole.
That paid sabbatical will be here before you know it.
Exactly.
Time is going by faster, isn't it, Thirsty?
It is.
You said you bought those no-code drinks.
I did.
No carb, no sugars.
Well, I think it's got no sugars, and that's how they get by with no carbs. But it's a BCAA drink with 180 milligrams of caffeine.
I'm out
Is
on
that
that.
a lot? What's a thing
that's-
of coffee?
I think that's more than coffee, but I don't know the correct answer.
What do you think a cup of coffee has in it?
What caffeine?
Yeah.
A cup of like 35 milligrams.
Oh man, so it's like
Hold on.
4 times the
95 milligrams in
Since
a
I thought
cup
it was
of coffee.
90.
In
Yeah.
an 8-ounce cup of coffee, there's 95. So it's basically two cups of coffee
okay.
is what the caffeine is. And so it's meant to be a pre-workout with the BCAAs and stuff in it. And I have not actually tried one as a pre-workout. I've only tried one just tasting it to see what the flavor was like. But I'm excited to incorporate that into my workouts.
Abby had some kind of drink at the gym the other day, and it smelled great. She spilled it, and I was cleaning it up while she was doing her GHD stuff, but it was cotton candy. And I started looking on the can. I was like, this smells great. She's like, you can have a sip. And then as she's doing sit-ups, she goes, but if you have a heart murmur, don't take a drink. And I'm like, okay. So I start reading it, and it has like 300 milligrams of
It's
caffeine
got to be
in it.
Bang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like
it
a
is
generic bang. And I've never heard of that before.
It tastes nasty too.
It smells really good.
It smells good, but
But-
I drank it and I was like,
Those things have so
holy
much
moly.
sugar to
They're-
cover up all the crap.
I
that's
was
in it.
like, there is no way I could drink this whole can.
But she's like, you can have a sip. And I'm like, if I took one sip of this, I would not sleep for 2 days. I'm not. No, thank you. It smelled good though.
If you have a heart murmur, don't drink.
Yeah, she was in the middle of sit-ups. If you have a heart murmur, don't drink it.
Bang has 300 milligrams.
Yep. 300
Jeez.
milligrams.
It originally had 357 milligrams of caffeine, but they've since lowered it to 300.
I remember when Jolt Cola came out, and it was
Yeah.
supposed to be such a big deal because it had so much something in it, caffeine or
Yeah,
sugar or
so
something.
let's do a can of Coke.
Jenny said the O2 drinks to the gym have 250 milligrams of caffeine in it.
I like those.
I do too. I didn't know they had caffeine in them.
Well, some of them say no caffeine and some of them have caffeine.
Guess you probably read the label on some stuff, huh?
Caffeine.
Good thing
in
they're
a
not alcoholic.
I love those things.
Caffeine.
That's why our gym bill is like $600 a month.
He didn't even realize it.
Coke has 34 milligrams in a 12-ounce can.
What does Jolt have? Is that what you just said?
34?
No, that was Coke. Jolt.
Now you're yawning.
Sorry, y'all.
You were like wired up when we walked in here, getting on to him, and now you're
Yeah, and
yawning.
now look at you.
Oh, wow. Jolt had 10 milligrams of caffeine per fluid ounce. So 12-ounce
80
can would be
or 12,
120.
Yeah, 120.
So it'd be 3 times a Coke, basically.
3 times Coke. Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
I remember I
So,
couldn't wait to get my hands on it.
How much is a espresso? How much is in that?
Man,
Or like a shot of espresso or something? I don't know.
What is
64
coffee?
64 milligrams.
Okay.
Are people more? Is coffee more attractive today than it was
Oh, that's like
10
a
years
thing.
ago?
I think it's like a thing. You know, the coffee shops have popped up. There's
Starbucks has
they're
made it.
first generation,
It's like
second
craft beer.
generation, and now
Yeah.
they've got
Craft
a
coffee.
now
But
they've got the
people
3rd
aren't-
generation coffee out now.
It's like people really like to identify themselves as coffee people.
But they're
Yeah.
not drinking. They're not going through the line and getting straight black coffee. You know.
I'm laughing at my tweet today. My friend got pissed off, a buddy of mine, and he tweeted about the fact that people at his office don't remake the coffee when they finish off the pot. You know, the
Oh, man,
the
I
public.
could go on
And
a
basically,
rant.
he posts a picture of like the empty regular coffee, but there's a full pot of decaf sitting there. And I was like, oh, just drink the decaf. It's all the same. Just trolling him, and he knew I was trolling him, and he replied back, blocked. But then it just became like a bunch of other people replying back like, you're going to get your ass kicked for saying that, Swanson.
If you are a person that goes up to the coffee maker at work, coffee is completely free at work. We'll understand that. And you pour a cup of coffee,
You're right.
and there is a minimal amount of coffee left in the coffee pot.
You're
You are
right.
obligated to make a new pot.
If you don't make another pot of coffee, I don't like you at
Yeah.
all.
Well,
I
you
want
don't
to
like
say-
yourself either.
I don't know. Something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
I will. When I used to drink coffee, I would intentionally like walk in to because all departments have coffee makers on all floors in the hospital. If I walked in and there was just enough for like one more person before you had to make a new one, I would go to a different floor and go find another coffee pot
enough.
because
That's
I didn't
okay.
want to stop and make
That's
the
all right.
coffee. So I was like, I'm gonna leave that.
That's
That's
understood.
it.
But you didn't
Okay.
take the coffee.
It's one
But you didn't
thing to
take the
get
coffee.
out.
I didn't take
It's
the
one thing to get out of doing the deed of making coffee by leaving the next
will
person
do it.
who's going to enjoy a cup of
so-
coffee. It's another thing to think enough of yourself to where I can drink this coffee and make someone else.
And
do
I
the
will also
deed.
say, in your situation, like, there is potentially a reason why you don't have the time to make the pot, right? Like,
Yeah.
medical, like, got to go do things, right? My office is not so
It's not
fast
like
paced. It's not life or death. We're not sending people to moon or anything like that. So, if you have time to get up from your desk and come pour yourself a cup of coffee, you've got 30 extra seconds that it takes to start the next pot.
Not only that, but the coffee pot has 3 burners. There's one in the back, there's one on the right side, there's one in the front, the main one. There are 50 people in this office. That coffee's going to get drank. Even if it's halfway full, put it on the other burner and make a new pot.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
That's a lot of people who have turned up the opportunity to make some coffee.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
you can
We're not triggered at all by this.
you can
anymore.
make even if the pot's not empty, there's so many burners, you can just make another one anyway.
Yeah. I was,
Just
like,
to be
freaking out.
nice because it's 9:00 in the morning. The coffee's all going to get drank.
Yeah, I agree.
Make another pot, even if you don't need to.
Well, I don't drink coffee and I feel like you're yelling at me.
He's like wired on this one.
I can't.
He's like looking at me like, I'm with
No,
you,
this
man.
is seriously like. So I have a very small office. Like, we're probably 1,500 square feet of office space, and so it would be nothing for me to walk out and speak at this volume and everybody in my office hear me. And I have almost a dozen times now walked out there and been like, which one of y'all dumbasses didn't make the next pot? Come in here. Let me show you how this motherfucker works.
It should be an interview question. If I'm interviewing you for a job, I
Probably.
should say, hey, man, go in there and pour yourself a cup of coffee. And then come back in here and then see what happens.
The problem is
and then if he comes back in and you go in there and there's no coffee in the pot, he's like,
Like,
this
just set it
interview-
up that way. Just
Yes.
have a 1 cup
Right.
pot
This
waiting.
interview
That's
is
a good
over.
idea.
I don't have any more questions.
Yeah.
See ya.
That's a good idea.
And if he refills it or makes another pot, you're hired.
Tell him he's got a limited amount of time. Would you like some coffee? You have 45 seconds to go ahead and enjoy some coffee. Now, what's worse, coffee or not filling up an ice tray?
I don't know
Ooh,
because I
ice
don't have ice
trays.
trays.
Back
Yeah,
in
we
the,
have an ice
back in the
maker.
day when we had ice trays, that was frustrating.
I had 2 roommates, and we were basically an upscale flop house. It was our house was complete garbage. We were total white trash, but we all filled up the ice containers. And one roommate specifically said, "You're a terrible person if you don't fill up the ice containers." And I remember hearing that. Like, I leave my laundry all over the place. We live on pizza boxes, and we got bongs and stuff sitting all over the place. But we always had our ice containers full, and that was important because you wake up in the middle of the night after you've had too much to drink, and there's no ice.
Water. You want some cold ass water?
It'll kill you. Your head will shrink into your neck, and you will suffocate like that if you don't get cold water within like 45 seconds. I've been in that position before.
Huh.
Yep.
Wow.
So if you live with me, you'll always have ice in the ice containers or an ice maker.
This episode's going to be called Please fill the ice.
Fill the goddamn ice
Ice and
tray.
coffee, ice and coffee, ice and coffee.
Oh, I won't be here next Thursday.
Why?
Going to the beach with your mom.
Oh, my mama.
Well, you're just a traveler. I'm supposed to be the traveler.
I know.
You're doing all the traveling right now.
I'm taking over your responsibilities.
Well, do it. Enjoy.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I think so.
I will be here next week, yeah.
Yep.
I'll be here.
Travel with your mama
I'll be here.
and my sister-in-law.
Is that fast? God, I remember when you said that y'all were going. It's like, God, that's forever away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I've been marking off the days on the calendar because I had to wait all summer for it because we planned it at the beginning of summer, and so all my friends are all going on vacation and stuff, and I have to wait all the way till August.
Well, I could live the rest of my life and never leave DeSoto County.
Oh my gosh, I would die.
And so Mom at the play at Hamilton last week is talking to the lady that's what's the usher. And she's like 70 years old, and she starts talking about this trip to Germany, and the next thing you know, my mom's like making plans to go with 8 of these women that she's never met before to the Passion Play in Oberammergau, something, Germany. And I told Amanda, I said, Mom's going to go. She'll do anything. And Amanda's like, I know she will.
It's awesome.
And so then Mom calls the next day, and I can hear her talking to Amanda, and she's basically asking Amanda if we're going to go to Sweden or something.
So I was planning on running the Edinburgh marathon next year,
Oh wow.
and it says on my bucket list. And
Which is in Ireland.
it's in Scotland, and
Same
so
place. It's all over there by France.
Which is all
They
lumped
all
together.
look the same.
anywho, so me and Elaine had been planning on doing that, and then she heard that I was wanting to do this, so she's like, "Hey, let's go." So she had like the plane tickets and everything calculated out.
Wilson's mom
She
did?
Yeah, she
Oh,
looked it
nice.
all up.
And I just want to talk shit. I don't really want to do anything. But my mom's like,
So then she's like,
Action Jacks.
she goes, I want to go do the Passion Play thing. She goes, but I need to know now, how I need to do set my flights up and blah, 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 blah. And he's
What
like,
time of year is this?
March. And so he was like, let's not do next year.
my back's sweating. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I'm just seeing dollar signs.
Because we haven't
I'm
saved,
like-
and that's true. We haven't saved. And
And how
So-
much time are you?
Because
We're
she just
talking
want-
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, she's wanting to
There's
take 2
kids
weeks
involved.
off.
I'm in like this limbo with employment. Like, what are y'all talking about
Yeah.
doing?
yeah, so
And
she
Mom's
wanted
like,
to do
I
2
got
weeks.
400,000 frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, our
so
tickets were going to be like $120 a piece to fly.
Wow.
You know, so I mean, it does sound appealing.
So I told her no, but we are going, I think.
I'll have
do
enough
this.
time to digest it.
At some point.
in 2022. I'm gonna go run
Oh,
it.
nice.
So that I will. I said I'd
If
never
you
do
want
a marathon
company,
again.
just keep me in the loop on that because that's definitely a bucket
Well,
list
she asked
thing for
if
me, too.
anybody else was interested in running it and
And
coming
with that,
along.
with that much time,
Yeah.
and actually, so Notre Dame starting in 2020 is going to be playing Navy in Ireland once every 2 years.
Man,
So I'm going in 2020. Like I will go to that game.
Wow.
I'm gonna do like a 1 week trip and like get to go see them play or whatever, which would be awesome. But 2022.
what
you
kind
go.
of stadium is that? How big is the
I
stadium
have
they're
no
going to be
idea.
playing? in?
I know literally nothing about it other than they're playing in Ireland and it's gonna be awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
This run's gonna be beautiful though because you run along the coast of
Oh, wow.
Scotland. It's down by the coast. It's really nice. So I'm excited.
So yeah, if you want company, keep me in the loop on that
Okay.
one. I'd love to try and figure out how to make that work.
We're out of time.
What?
You were worried we didn't have enough content.
I know. Isn't that something?
Who knew that ice and coffee could get us through?
Yeah, we had enough to keep it together one more week.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
Lift Heavy Run Long, number 157.
Boom.